Now we are ready for details. All right, we've got 5 details that are going to be required. 5 different details. They're required because pretty much everyone in the world has these 5 details. Like well over 99% of people in the world have these 5 details. There's always exceptions on if someone was in an accident or if they made a certain choice or someone made a choice for them, but pretty much there's 5 things that we're going to need to add to this person. Number 1 thing, we're going to add eyebrows to this person. So we'll go ahead and do an eyebrow over here on the right. Eyebrows are different sizes, different shapes. Sometimes they're natural, sometimes they're more stylized. But what we're going to do is give this person an eyebrow. So you go above your eyelid line. Remember, this line on the top of the eye was the front edge of your eyelid, and this line is the back edge of your eyelid. So we want to go above that. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sketch in. You can just kind of shade it in if you want to. I'm going to do one that starts off a little bit thicker and kind of gets a little bit narrower. Usually the eyebrow is as wide as the eye is. I'm going to have this like go into the hair a little bit. Okay, there's all different. Sometimes they're a little more bent. Sometimes they're a little bit larger. I'm going to have this one thicker and kind of getting smaller as it goes across like this. Okay, so I did an eyebrow like that. The one on the handout is much larger, much thicker, and kind of goes across a little bit straighter. Okay, this one I put like a little more of a curve into it. So something similar to that. Okay, and we want the eyebrows to be symmetrical. We want them to be the same. We don't want one eyebrow like from one person here and a different eyebrow from someone else over here. So, any part of the tracing paper you want, and we're going to need lines of reference like we did for the ear. So, what you want to do is you want to trace off the top of the eye, which is the front edge of the eyelid. All right. You can go ahead and trace off your eyelid line, which is already on there. And then you want to trace off your eyebrow. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of sketch it off so it's the same size, same shape. I'll go ahead and just sketch it off like this. So I've got top edge of the eye, which is the front edge of the top eyelid, line above that, which is the back of the top eyelid, and I have the eyebrow. So now when I flip this over to the left and I go to line it up, all I have to do is line up the top edge of the eye, okay, which is the front edge of the eyelid, and I have the eyelid line right in place where it's supposed to go, and then the eyebrow is going to be right in the right spot. So if these 2 lines line up, then the eyebrow is exactly where it should be. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch over the back of the tracing paper here, and it's going to leave a print there on the paper. And it should be exactly in the right spot, okay? Because we use lines of reference like we did for the ear, and we use lines of reference for the eyebrow. So then you're just going to go ahead and go back in here, okay, darken it up so it's a little bit easier to see. And again, we're going for something symmetrical, something that is similar, okay, to what you had on the other side, on the right. We don't want 2 totally different eyebrows on the same person. Go ahead and darken that in. All right, so we're having something that is similar on both sides. All right, that means close to being the same, does not need to be exact. All right, so eyebrows is 1. That's one of the required. Second thing, eyelashes. So we're going to give this person eyelashes. When you do eyelashes, okay, we're going to do it on the right eye first. When you do that, it's like putting your pencil down and you just kind of flick up and out to the right for the right eye. Okay, so what we do is eyelashes grow out from this top line that's right here. So this top line is the front edge of your top eyelid. So you're going to go over here to the right and you're going to kind of flick up and out. You can go over your eyelid line, but don't make them so long that you're going like clear up to your eyebrow. Okay, so you go ahead and put some lines across here. 12, I would put at least 12 or more. That's usually a pretty good number. If you only have like 7 or 8 lines, it's like, well, it's kind of eyelashes, but kind of not. So I would make sure you get probably at least 12 or more lines going across like that. And those are very small details, so we're not going to use tracing paper. Over here on the left, you're taking your pencil and you're kind of flicking up and out to the left like this. So over here, again, top edge of the eye, so you're going to kind of flick up and out to the left. Again, try to get at least 12 lines. If I had like 15 here and like 13 over here, that's fine. You don't have to have the exact number, because all eyelashes are all these little individual little hairs. Okay, so something like that. We're not going to bother doing the bottom ones because the bottom eyelashes are so small and then you don't really see them that well at all. It's mainly you see the top eyelashes. So you want to make sure you get the top eyelashes on. We're not going to worry so much about the bottom eyelashes along the bottom edge here. So that's number 2. So we have eyebrows as 1, eyelashes as 2. Okay, next detail that's required actually has a name. It's a dimple. Okay, and a dimple is just like a little bump in the skin. It either like it bumps out or it bumps down. And what we have are the 2 little bumps here that create the dimple that's here in the middle. Okay, this dimple that's right here, and sometimes it's a little more, kind of curved like this. Sometimes it's a little more rounded. Sometimes it's a little more square. But you add a couple little lines for the dimple that's right here, and that dimple has a name. It is called the philtrum. So it is P-H-I-L-T-R-U-M. Make that P a little bit better there. It's called the philtrum. P-H-I-L-T-R-U-M. So this dimple right here has a name because that's the dimple that pretty much everyone has. It's called the philtrum. So that is the third required detail we need to add. So we've got eyebrows as 1, eyelashes as 2, and then we have the philtrum. That is the third one. All right, fourth required detail are details in the ears. Okay, so ears have details. These are important details. Okay, this whole outer ear is important. When sound waves hit your head when someone talks, this outer part of your ear and all of these little cartilage folds, because basically your ear is mainly cartilage covered with skin. Okay, it captures the sound waves and then funnels them down to your ear canal. If this was not out here at all, okay, you would not be able to hear very well at all. Most of the sound waves would bounce off your head. So it's important to not only have that, but to show some details as well. So most people will have this little half circle, little flap that sticks out. Okay, some animals, they can actually control that. Like seals, when they go underwater, they actually close that, and it helps keep their water canal from the ear canal filling with water on there. Ours is just stationary, kind of works as like a deflector shield to keep dust and dirt and things that are coming at us from getting in our ear and down to our ear canal so well. So that's important to have. Usually there's a couple little lines, cartilage that kind of fold and kind of come around here as well. So you want to add at least maybe 2 or 3 little details here for the ear, like in one of the ears like that. And I just happen to have this person only having one ear show. But if you have your person having both ears show, this is what you do. Okay, you already have your ear tracing on your tracing paper. So what you do is you just put that back on and line up the ear tracing like this. Okay. You trace over those details that you added. So I added 1 line, I added 2 lines, 3 lines, and that little half circle flap like that. Okay, so now I've got details in the ear on the tracing paper like that. Same ear that I put on here is still on the tracing paper. Then I flip it over to the left. Okay, and I line it up to the ear that's there, and I just trace off those details. In my case, I've got 4 different details, and it leaves a print inside the ear on the left. You don't have to retrace the whole ear and all the details and do it all over again. So just use your tracing that's on your tracing paper, and then you go ahead and you copy off the details so they are the same on both sides, so they are symmetrical. In my case, I don't have to copy it because the person's hair actually covers up the ear. Okay. Now, if your person has long hair on both sides and you covered up the hair on both sides, then that's obviously one of the required details you don't have to add because you don't see the ears anymore. But if you see one or both ears, that's the 4th different detail you want to add. Okay, the 4th required detail is lines in the ears. All right, So we have eyebrows, eyelashes, the philtrum dimple, and we have details in the ears. The last required detail you need is a neck. Your neck is wider than you think. If you look in the mirror, you'll see that your neck comes down, usually around the outside edge of your eye. Okay, you've got your sclera, the white part of your eye, usually right out here on the outside edge is about where your neck comes down. So I'm going to go down below that a little bit. And when you do that, you just kind of sketch a line with a little bit of a bend in it. Okay, all right, a little bit of a bend. In fact, I'm not going to go down quite that far. You just go down a little bit. Don't go down so far that you'd actually kind of curve in to show the shoulders. So I'm just going to kind of curve it down just a little bit like that. Same thing over here on this side. Okay, so I would go down below that. Okay, right in this area, about right in here. Okay, is where this person's neck would be. Now the person's hair is here, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker so it's easier to see. But same kind of curve, kind of coming down over here as well. So I've got the one that's over here. I've got the one that's over here as well, like that. Okay, so something similar to that. Now, if your person has longer hair, you can make a couple decisions. Decision number one, there would be hair that would wrap around this person's head. So I can go ahead and fill this in with hair, just so there isn't like a gap like I can see between the hair and the neck and just see all the way through and see background here. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fill this on in with hair. Okay, that hair that's like behind, or actually I could actually just take the hair that I have and kind of bring it over to the edge of the neck like this. I'll bring it over a little bit further on the neck. Okay, like actually to the neck and further over actually on top of the cheek. But you want to go ahead and fill in that area. So here is the neck. So the hair is like right against the neck on this side. This side though, okay, I can have it so the hair is actually in front of the neck like how it is, like here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to re-erase so that line for the neck is actually not showing now. So someone's neck can actually look smaller than what it is because maybe the hair is going over the neck on one side, like that. So I took the neck, it's there, but now it looks like the hair is going in front of the neck. I'm going to add a little bit more hair going in front of the neck. Okay, like the hair is next to the neck on one side and over the neck on the other side. So that is something you can actually do like that. So someone's neck can actually look smaller than what it is. So this person's hair goes behind their ear and actually kind of comes up in front, like over the front of their neck, like up in the front right here. So I have some neck overlapped here, but it's not overlapped here. So that's something you can do if your person has longer hair, something similar to that. So those are the 5 that are required: eyebrows, eyelashes, the philtrum dimple, details in the ears, and the neck. The only exception would be is if you don't have either one of your ears show because someone has long hair and covers up both ears. All right, so one more thing to cover, and that's going to be optional details. So those are the required details. So we'll come here next to the next video when we come back, and we will be seeing about details that are optional. So thanks for adding those and following along.